The topic is a profile on the governor of Abia State, Governor OKalu. And of course, Governor Kalu, before we had our final break, we promised that we would give you the last part of this show to give you an opportunity to talk about your visit to Nashville, because we understand that you've been in Nashville for a couple of days now, and you've had an opportunity to move around and deal with some of the officials and et cetera. And so why don't you sort of give us a report in terms of the kind of thing that you'll probably take back to Abia State in reference to who we are here in Tennessee and how we're willing to cooperate and work with you. If you could we'll give you that opportunity to do that now.
Well, I see a lot of prospects in what we are coming about. Some meetings have been scheduled which due to flight problems and what is happening. I have meeting in the governor's office and the mayor's office, which I will schedule next time when I'm here, sometime in the future. But we are signing agreements on health. Health is a very essential issue in my mind. Some of the local people here handling it, Dr. Mado have briefed me on what we are going to sign. We have looked at the documents with the various counties and the government, and we are going to have an excellent relationship with the state of Tennessee. And I believe with what we are planning, there are going to be exchange health program, both education and cultural program between our states and this. And eventually, when I become president, I also pray that one day you will have a president from here when I'm president, so we can be able to work together. So I believe that there were a lot of things that we'll do together in terms of finances and advices and all the rest of them. That's a program that will be a sister state to sister state program to enhance the two economy. And I believe these are in future, near future. These are what we are going to be discussing with the bureaucrats in the government department and all the rest of them. I'll send my officials to come back and discuss with them and see where and means we can work together. The health is what is on the ground now, which we'll sign the agreement before we leave. And the program will start, an exchange program between Abia State and the state of Tennessee and their counties.
Now, you know, there's been some a real conscious effort on the part of the United States and some countries in Western Europe to try to deal with some of the real economic problems in Africa in general. And I think that there was an organization that Mr. Bush, an act that Mr. Bush passed dealing with African development and et cetera. And I think you're on record in terms of favoring such an effort on the part of the United States. Why don't you give us some...
oh, you must be talking about AGOA. And,
AGOA.
Yeah, it's a Congress law made by the it's a law made by the Congress and passed. And I believe that both President Clinton and Mr. Bush were all committed to those programs, and I respect these two leaders because of their commitment towards. And finally, Mr. Bush signed into law, and I also need to thank the Congress. This AGOA, if properly managed, will enhance the economic development of my state. My state is going to be center for AGOA because there are clusters that are going to be a springboard towards what AGOA is going to be in my state. So I believe that will be a job creation for the people if the policies are well handled.
And so even within the context of the whole international scene, you believe that, and I think you're on record as saying that this program will do quite a number of things for your country specifically, but also for all of Africa.
That's correct. And the program, I think, elapses on 2015, and I will only appeal to the Congress to see the extension. If I'm correct on my dates, the Congress should initiate a new bill to see that they pass this new bill to make sure that it's extended, to give people opportunity of continuing with it. It's going to help all developing countries in the sub-region of Africa.
And so is there, in terms of the resources that you have, I mean, in Nigeria, do you find that you have the adequate access to all of those resources, oil and other resources that you have, or do you find that your people specifically have been sort of excluded from having access to resources like that, the oil and other areas?
I think there's a lot, in the central government, there's a lot of corruption there. Mm-hmm. And the common people have not got the real access to their resources. Mm-hmm. And this is why people like me want to be governor. Mm-hmm. I would want to be president, to make